could knock that guy out, then it's a draw.
They also haven't used the rule yet.
So you go knockout for knockout.
Boy, that rule looks like it's written by lawyers, doesn't it? Doesn't that rule look written by lawyers? So find out what's happening, because I think they were going to announce something today about Lamont Roach, Gervonta Davis decision.
My sport that I've been in for 50 years, I hate what people do to it. I hate it. I don't hide that.
You ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right?
Joe Rogan slammed the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight, questioning if it was rigged. He pointed out a strange rule that let a knocked-out fighter recover for 2 minutes and still go for a knockout, which ended the fight in a draw. Rogan suggested this rule might be a sneaky way to manipulate fights, hinting that the outcome may have been fixed.
Roach, Gervonta Davis decision on the knockdown. It was a very good fight, though. Lamont Roach is very good. I was really impressed because Tank is nasty. Tank is so powerful. Yeah. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division.
People suspect the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach fight was tampered with. Roach hinted at corruption in the 11th or 12th round when Davis told him, "They ain't going to give it to you," implying the judges had already decided. Roach admitted this happens often, especially against big names like Davis. When the final scores came in, Roach thought he won by split decision, only to be disappointed. His reaction exposed the harsh truth about pre-decided outcomes in boxing.
I felt like you won the fight, but when the fight was over, before the judges, before the scorecards came up on in the ring, were you worried at all that maybe you wouldn't get the nod?
Y'all know something funny? When we was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th, we was talking shit, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, shit, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with a superstar, you won't get too much on paper. But shit, I damn sure thought I had it. Especially when they announced the score for him. I was like, oh, they gonna give me a split decision win. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh shit, here it go. But as soon as I heard that 114, I was just like, damn, all right, it's over with.
And referee Jack Rice weighed in on the Davis versus Roach fight controversy, explaining that boxing rules are flexible. He emphasized that referees have the final say in the ring, making crucial decisions like whether to count a knockdown or stop a fight completely.
Against Carlos Formoso Hernandez, when he lands the punch and turns his back and takes a knee, he gets counted. You think of Miguel Cotto against Antonio Margarito, where it was under duress and he just took that knee. And of course, my compadre right here, Chris Algieri against Ruslan Provodnikov as well. It wasn't a particular shot. You feel something, you feel discomfort, you take a knee. All those times, there's a count, dude. And I'll tell you what, Steve Willis also knew there was a count because he started counting and then stopped.
Yeah, we'll get to it. There's more than one pillar of this defense for Lamont Roach Jr., but the first one's a knockdown, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we have a ton of experts on the panel today. I'm going to speak from a fighter standpoint, just like you did, Champ. And you can argue whether that right hand landed clean or if it landed hard or how hard those jabs were. It doesn't matter. Champ, when you mentioned when I took that knee against Ruslan Provodnikov, I actually didn't get hit. I was still recovering from the last knockdown where my orbital was damaged. My eye was damaged. My vision was impaired. I gave ground so I would keep my opponent off me, and I still couldn't see. So I took a knee, understanding very well that as soon as I took that knee, I was going to get a count. Yeah. And I had 8 to 9 seconds to get up, and I had more time to get my vision back, which it did, thank God.
And Mayweather didn't get hit either. He threw the punch.
Yeah, he actually landed left on Hermoso, Hernandez.
So, this is standard procedure here, guys.
Yeah, and we got to see, the question I have to ask, I got to start with Jack Reese. Is there something we are, as fans, aren't seeing about this knockdown that changes it? Because me, as a fan, I saw a knockdown in round number 9. What's your thought?
Well, when I agreed to come on, I'm regulated by an ethics agreement that I signed, so I don't want to come on and criticize or actually defend his actions or anybody's actions. What I would like to do is just lay out what the rules and regulations say and the court of public opinion, and you guys can make your own decision on what you think happened based upon what the rules and regulations are. And let me just say this. there's a difference between rules and regulations. Regulations are very strict. They're written into statute, into law. That's the operating system. And then the rules are very flexible, and they help you actually do the details that work within that system.
After the disputed draw, the New York State Athletic Commission, NYSAC, admitted to a mistake in reviewing the 9th round knockdown. They acknowledged the issue and confirmed an investigation, despite Roach's team appealing. The NYSAC stuck with the majority draw decision. This has sparked debates about boxing's credibility, as repeated controversies could make fans lose trust in the sport. Maintaining fairness and transparency is crucial for boxing's future.
The New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the controversial, whatever. They said they blame on the production team. The blame is on the production team. The knee, all that. They say the New York State Athletic Commission says they are reviewing the controversial no knockdown call in the March 1st matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Right? They deem technical issues, right? Involving Gervonta Davis taking a knee in the 9th round, blah, 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 blah. A technical issue. So apparently they had AOL dial-up at the Barclays Centers.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, this story gets crazier and crazier by the minute. And I remember when it transpired and we were talking about it.
Yep.
And nobody was bringing up the fact, and I think if we were the only people that actually brought up the fact that they actually reviewed it. They actually reviewed it after the round.
Yeah.
And stated that it wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah.
So it started, and maybe there was some misinformation, but that's what it was said. That's what they were told. That's what the commentators were told, that
Commission stated that both fighters followed the referee's calls, and there wasn't enough reason to overturn the decision. This has led to mixed reactions in the boxing world. The result impacts both fighters' careers. Davis now faces more scrutiny and possible rematch pressure, while Roach's strong performance has boosted his reputation, opening doors to bigger fights. Fans will be watching closely to see what happens next.
So breaking news, the New York State Athletic Commission has upheld Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach as a draw. Now, this is what I expected. I mean, commissions very rarely change the results of fights, unless of course someone tests positive for a PED. But in this case, the commission had a very poor explanation. They did admit that referee Steve Willis missed the knockdown of Tank in round 9, but it's the sequence of events after that for me that should have guaranteed the knockdown. As soon as Tank took the knee, the referee started the count, 1, 2, 3, and then as soon as Tank came back, Steve Willis stopped the count. Secondly, when Tank went to his corner, he got his face wiped off by a towel, which is illegal in the middle of a round. I mean, even Canelo said it, that's merit for a disqualification. So I don't know how the commission can admit a knockdown should have been ruled, display a sequence of errors, and then say, oh, well, the referee didn't rule a knockdown in real time, so we'll uphold the result. It seems kind of odd, but I do get it. I mean, there'd been outrage if the commission overturned the result. But what I want to see now is the WBA enforce a rematch. Lamont Roach deserves a second opportunity. I'm sure the fans would want to see it as well, and that's the right thing to do for the integrity of the sport.
Joe Rogan passionately criticized the draw, demanding a rematch. He said the result felt unfair and couldn't be the final say. According to Rogan, Davis shouldn't just walk away. Boxing's credibility is on the line. If bad decisions like this go unchallenged, the sport suffers. The only way to settle the debate, a rematch that gives both fighters a clear outcome.
Everybody saw it. You can't get around what everybody saw. Look, it wasn't a legit knockdown like he hurt Tank. Tank did have some in his eyes, but what are you doing putting in your hair when you have a world title fight? That's crazy.
And no one want to hear about it in the middle of a fight. That no one cares. If a fly by, drop the ball, bro.
Right.
Drop the damn ball. We don't care if a fly flew by your helmet or your eyes.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about that.
You can't be a championship fighter and taking a knee and putting on those type of performances.
Also, what are they putting in his hair? That when he's sweating, it is dripping into his eyes. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Bro, shave your head.
Weird, right? Yeah, exactly.
Shave your head. Who cares?
Like, don't be pretty boy. You better go get this fight.
Get those braids out of there. You don't need those.
Respected boxing analyst Teddy Atlas also called for a rematch, saying the first fight left too many unanswered questions. However, he doubted it would happen given the lack of accountability for the referee's decisions.
I think we know the answers. I think we know the answers. I think we know the answers, unfortunately.
But we need the rematch, and we'll get it. But I touched on last night during the live stream
It's the great Angelo Dundee with Ali when he couldn't see and he was blinded. He didn't say go out there and call a timeout, take a knee. Go and run, move until you can see. And just to be able to go out there and call a timeout, it's like being in the schoolyard. Oh, do over. Unbelievable. This has to be addressed. This can't just continue. This referee must be sat down and reprimanded. And hopefully we get some answers and we get the rematch.
We won't. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I am, but I'm ashamed of myself. I am so cynical. But this sport has made me cynical. I'm sorry. I don't see anyone's going to reprimand this referee. I don't. What are they going to do? I mean, it happens too often. It's happened too often. I don't know. We need a national commission. That's the only thing I could think of, but we're not getting one right now. But the last thing I want to say to put a bow on this one, Bud, we talked about the controversial part, but I want to finish with the great part. That was high-level boxing. That was two guys at the highest level showing their skills.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more next time.